Welcome to the Divorce Talk with Twyla show, where we talk all things divorce. You will be encouraged, inspired, informed, and empowered. Now, let's welcome our host, Twyla M. Marks, the #1 divorce recovery expert. Enjoy the show.
Well, hello, everyone. Another episode of the Divorce Talk with Twyla show. My goodness, I am Twyla M. Marks. I am your #1 divorce recovery expert. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a life coach, and I help you recover from divorce. So, listen, tonight I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching it live or the replay, the last 3 weeks, y'all, I have been in a real estate series and it was phenomenal. Man, those guests, those 3 weeks, they were great. If you missed any of those episodes, go check it out. Watch the replay if you or anyone you know is in the space of what do I do with the family home, right? That episode or those episodes will be an inspiration and an encouragement to you. So, wow, shifting gears tonight. So, tonight I'm absolutely honored and it's a privilege. I'm honored so very much to have the amazing Dr. Eddie Connor. He is an empowerment speaker. He's a 14 times best-selling author. He is the founder of the mentoring program, Boys to Books, also the founder of the Eagles Academy. He's been featured on many platforms, ABC, CBS, Fox, The Steve Harvey Show, The Tom Joyner Show, just to name a few. And so, y'all, it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Eddie Connor to the Divorce Talk with Twyla show.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you? What a wonderful opportunity to be with you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, Dr. Eddie.
Yes,
Wow, we are going to talk about a lot of good stuff tonight. So, we just came out of a real estate series on my show. And so tonight we're talking about your recovery story from cancer. We're talking about your book. You are 14 times best-selling author. My goodness, it's one thing to be a best-selling author one time, but 14 times, that's a lot. So glory and praise God for that. So, Dr. Eddie, I would like to start off by you sharing your personal story or testimony as it relates to your experience as a kid watching your parents go through a divorce.
Yeah, to be able to be on your show and to really hear you be an expert in your craft and really talk about recovery, to really make your mark, so to speak, to play on your last name. I think one thing is, no, I've never been divorced, but I have seen divorce. And to see the separation of, your parents when, I think really what every child craves is that they receive reciprocal love from both their mother and their father. And
Right.
a lot of times when that does not happen, or you see a chasm in the relationship, mother wounds, father wounds begin to set in. Your perspective on relationships, marriage, dating, the world in general, it shifts. And for me, my father, when he was there to a certain degree, he wasn't there. When he was present physically, a lot of times he was absent mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And that led to the divorce. And the man I looked like the most, I felt at some point in my life cared for me the least. How do you become a man if you don't see one, much less interact with one?
Wow.
And I'm grateful for a grandfather who stepped in. God rest his soul. I'm grateful for other male mentors who have stepped in as well to really show me that mentorship is really what it's about. Life teaches you in two ways: mistakes and mentors. It's better to learn from the mistakes of a mentor than to make your own.
Wow. 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 So, how old were you when this occurred? You were a young kid, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I was 12. Yeah, I was 12 at this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the ideal time and age where a young man going into his teenage years needs a father figure, right, in their lives.
Oh, oh, undoubtedly,
Right,
undoubtedly.
right.
Yeah, so it's a serious shift and transition. It's that Frederick Douglass quote, as they ascribe oftentimes to him. If we build strong boys, we won't have to repair broken men. And so,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's around the time when I got divorced. My son was around that age. He was preteen. So, yeah, that's a tough one. So, I
Hmm.
know you, like you mentioned, you've never went through divorce, but you're sharing your story as it relates to seeing your parents go through one and how divorce does affect children. And it does. And some people that experience divorce may or may not think that, but it does significantly. And it's nothing wrong with getting those kids in counseling if that's what they need, right?
Yeah,
So a lot of times
totally
people
agree.
don't want to go that route, but I am an advocate for therapy and counseling and all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's
absolutely.
shift gears here and talk about your personal story, survivor story. It is October. I know it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month and cancer. I call it Cancer Awareness Month, not
Hmm.
only breast cancer. And Dr. Eddie, you are a stage 4 cancer survivor. And I love what you say. You found the can in cancer. So tell us about your cancer story and your recovery and survivor story and all of those good things.
Yeah. October is, yeah, Breast Cancer and Cancer Awareness Month. I actually have to do an event this coming Saturday,
Okay.
speaking to breast cancer survivors and just cancer survivors in general. And I'm verbose in talking about it these days, but for many years I was very hesitant, negligent, and reticent to do so
Mm,
because of the recovery of what it took,
mm,
and the arduous task of beating something that in many cases was killing you from the inside out.
mm,
It's tough to fight an invisible enemy, and
mm,
I was. This is a few years after my parents had divorced, and I'm having chest pains, and
mm.
oftentimes us as boys becoming men, we're imbibed with the message of pain is weakness leaving the body. Don't cry. Crying is for girls. Man
Mhm.
up. Grin and bear it.
Yeah, yeah,
Grow through your pain.
yeah.
And I was in school, in high school at this time, and my favorite two classes in school were gym and lunch. I love to chase the girls in gym and then sit down and eat with them at lunch. I was just a regular kid, and I'm having these chest pains and I'm running cross country, getting ready for basketball, and I'm lethargic and feeling lackadaisical and sleeping in class, which was kind of not really like me. And
Mm,
my mother stops me in the hallway one time while I'm at the house and she says, "Something's going on with you. You all right?" And of course, I'm
mhm.
remembering those messages, you got to be tough guy.
Right?
No, I'm good, Ma. I'm good. Nothing going on with me. You know what I'm saying? And so, long story short, I'm over at my friend's house watching a football game. This was during Christmas vacation, and I'd been
Okay,
having chest pains for a few weeks.
okay.
I can't breathe by halftime. It felt like somebody was stabbing me in my chest.
Oh, wow.
And his mother takes me to the hospital. My mother meets me there. They take me in the hospital, and there's doctors and nurses swirling all over the place. They think it's a punctured lung. I'm
Oh,
thinking to
wow.
myself, it's got to be more than this. They take me to another hospital, IVs everywhere, you name it. They're doing a CT scan on the chest, and they see that they need to take me to surgery immediately because there's an
Mm,
aggressive tumor that has formed around my heart, my trachea, my esophagus, my voice box.
mm,
And I felt great coming out of surgery. The doctor says, "Hold on 1 minute before you resume trying to go back to class and gym and lunch.
mhm.
Let me let you know that you have what we call NHL." I'm thinking to myself, NHL. I must have hit the lottery. I don't
Right?
watch hockey at all, but
Right.
I'm getting ready to be the youngest owner of a National Hockey League team. He says, "No, not that non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm like, my first language is Ebonics. I'm still trying to learn English. What do you mean?" He says, "Not one, not two, not three, but four. I'm filling my pockets to find $4. He says, "You
Mm,
have stage 4 cancer."
my God.
Getting a death sentence when I'm just starting my life. Now I'm fighting for my life. Chemo, radiation, lost all my hair, my
Mm.
Self-confidence, my self-esteem. My own biological father never visited me one day in the hospital.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, but a praying mama said you got to go
Yes,
to
come
Psalm
on.
118:17, which says, "You shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord." And so that finding the canon cancer of what you talk about was through a lot of pain, was through a lot of depression, was through a lot of thoughts of suicide and wanting to give up and throw in the towel.
Mm,
Something I went through that I wouldn't even have wished on my worst enemy. But I'm grateful
mm.
to come out on the other side and empower other people how they can grow through what they go through as well.
Wow. That story, oh my goodness, an amazing recovery story. And nobody but God brought you out of
Nobody.
that. And I don't know who may be watching now or later or watch the replay. If you're not a believer, this is a powerful story, testimony, whatever your beliefs are, that God is a healer. He will heal. And now that you were healed, Dr. Eddie, you're doing the work that He purposed for you to do.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
So, your experiences and your victories, it led you to write your 14th book, which is called The Mask of Masculinity. Now, listen, don't give all the book away because we want folks to buy the book and read it. But
That's facts.
yes, tell us a little bit about that book.
Yeah, and I might as well do a visual aid. Might as well
Yes,
show it a
please.
little bit. The Mask of Masculinity, really the book that one of the books I've really wanted to write the most. I think it literally took me all my life to write it.
Mm,
As The Color Purple said, all my life I had to fight.
I had to fight.
And so I really talk about the fears, the failures, the frustrations, the father wounds, the fights that us as men deal with internally. The subtitle of the book is How Men Can Reclaim Their Identity, Lead in Love, of Vulnerability.
Mm,
And really recognizing that vulnerability is not weakness, vulnerability is strength for us. We're
yes,
not just a caricature, we're a character. We're more
yes.
like Clark Kent than Superman. We're more like David Banner than the Hulk. We're more like T'Challa than Black Panther. And
Mm,
so being able to give voice to our emotions and our emotions, as Bishop T.D. Jakes would say,
yeah.
our struggles, which is our superpower, that really makes us superheroes, and just give a clarion call to our brothers to let them know you can take off the mask, you can take off the cape, and you
Come
can find
on.
a soft space and place to land. Being able to cry, being able to acknowledge your emotions doesn't make you feminine. It makes you human. It's not masculine
Come
or feminine. It's
on.
just human. And so
Yes.
being able to honor your humanity is what it's all about, because us as men, we lead best when we love most.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. I got to go back to one thing at least that you said right there. Men, why is that? Men are taught don't cry, or young boys, and it starts from them being a little toddler all the way to
Hmm.
they're grown, and that carries over into relationships, marriages. My show is Divorce Talk with Twyla, so my folks that watching, my followers are divorcees, the majority of us. And why is that? Why are we're creating something in our boys that we shouldn't do? Like you just said, it doesn't make you weak, it makes you human.
Hmm.
Jesus wept. What
Yeah,
is
come
going
on.
on there? Right?
You're,
Yeah.
to- you're totally
Yeah.
right about it. And it is how we have been socialized
Yeah.
to ingratiate, and I think it's in a somewhat of a deleterious way
Yeah.
when boys are given those messages. It's not just sometimes from men; sometimes it's from the women too in our lives. But
Mm.
it's a miscommunication of life is going to hit you hard. Life is going to be
Mm.
hard for you because you're going to be a man one day.
All
So as
right.
long as you can learn the tough lesson now, you can not be surprised. But it works antithetical to what real
Mhm.
masculinity is all about. It ingratiates us into intergenerational trauma, psychological pain, emotional incarceration. By the
Yeah.
time we get to you, we're so locked up internally,
Mm.
we don't even know how to express. And one of the main factors of divorce is a lack of communication.
Lack of communication. Come
Yeah,
on.
one of the
Yes.
top three is what they suggest. And so,
It is.
Being able to learn the whole aspect of having to unlearn what we have learned, having to retrain our brain
Mm,
to focus on the human aspect, the human factor. Don't matter how much money you make. Don't matter how many
no,
foreign cars you drive. And don't matter, the Mercedes and the muscles and all that other stuff.
right.
You're still human at the end of the day, and you still deal with your emotions. And
Mhm.
so, rather than internalizing, we have to find a way to verbalize, whether that's through a counselor, whether that's through a therapist, whether that's through a mentor, whether that's just some brothers who understand iron sharpens iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Let him know, bruh, it's all right. Don't keep the pain inside.
Mm,
Anger is just one letter away from danger.
mm. My
Yeah.
God, that's good. And a lot of times because men do, they keep that bottled up inside. They have some issues with, heart attacks or
Oh,
anxiety and
sure.
stress levels are through the roof. So let it go. Cry. It's okay to cry, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So, Dr. Eddie, thank you so much. I know you have a heart and a passion to see men win. And
Mm.
there could be some single moms watching, raising their sons. What is the Eagles Academy? Tell us about that.
Yeah, the Eagles Academy, we are all about it's an online academy which really focuses on empowering people to soar into success and purpose,
Mhm.
learning how to maneuver from purpose to profit, ideas to income, context to contracts. I believe
Mm.
there's a purpose that we all have. As long as you have a pulse, you have a purpose, and many times we're struggling to get out that purpose, that to birth that book, that business, that opportunity. And I'm giving you blueprints. I'm giving you steps on how to do that, how to deal with trauma and triggers, how to find wholeness in your singleness, develop your self confidence, your self esteem. We talk about faith,
Mhm.
identity, relationships, speaker training, so much more. We try to cover the whole gamut in our Eagles Academy, and we do sessions every single Wednesday
Mm.
night, once a week on Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Mhm.
Eastern Standard Time. And we have not just me doing the teachings, we bring in other guests and speakers. And we have such a great uh, network of individuals who are leaders, scholars,
Mhm.
businessmen and women who just want to get better. And they understand that it's all about collaboration over competition. And
Yeah.
so, people who are interested in joining that Eagles Academy, we're going to empower you to soar. I believe if you spread
Yeah.
your wings, you'll win.
Yes.
As Isaiah 40:31,
That's right.
they that wait upon
Wait
the
upon
Lord
the
shall
Lord.
renew
Come
their
on.
strength. They'll
Yes.
mount up with wings as an eagle. So I want to show you how to soar above every situation that you go through. And all you have to do is go to www.theeaglesacademy.com to be a part of our live sessions.
Nice. Yes. So y'all got that. Go,
Yeah.
we want to soar. We want to soar. I love it, love it, love it. And then Boys to Books mentoring program. Now I'm all about mentorship. I have a
Hmm.
mentor, I have mentee. I just love, I have mentees. I love mentorship. We don't know everything in life, folks. So you have to stay connected or get connected to folks that are where you want to be, and then use your gifts and talents to mentor someone else to bring them to the place where they want to be. So, what is this Boys to Books mentoring program, Dr. Eddie?
Yeah, you mentioned we don't know it all, and I believe a know-it-all really knows nothing at all. And so, and so not only do I teach, but I'm also on the other side as a learner. The young men are learning from me. I'm learning from them. And I developed Boys to Books some years ago when I was doing my master's, and I saw how illiteracy and incarceration are interconnected, how they're building prisons based on second and third grade reading scores. Generally, it's warehousing black and brown brothers like myself. And so
Mm.
I wanted to focus on not just rehabilitation, but prevention. I
Okay.
wanted to, when they're locking up our brothers, to be in jail, but not Cornell and Yale, prison, but not Princeton, 4 years in the
Oh
prison
my.
house instead of 4 years in Morehouse. I
Whew.
wanted really to speak life into their life to unlock their dreams.
Mm.
And we do it through three ways: literacy, leadership, life skills enrichment. One of the main factors is most mentorship programs for boys becoming men or some type of training in that aspect. We show them how to shake a hand and look at somebody in the eye. We
Yeah.
show them how to tie a tie. We show them, how to get their books and all that other stuff and the aspect of respect and loving yourself and self-esteem. But many don't have a reading component. And so what is it
Mm,
to show brothers how to tie a tie, how to speak, this, that, and the other? But they go through your program and they're on a third grade reading level in
my
the ninth
goodness.
grade, right?
Mm,
Or, can barely read, put two sentences together, and they're getting ready to graduate from high school because they've been passed along. And nobody wanted to speak life into them and show them the whole aspect of the power of books, and books are not effeminate, right? And
right,
so I bring in that literacy component. I have a love for literacy. Me being a writer myself,
right.
I wanted to infuse that into the lives of our young men, and so we teach and train them. I go into schools all across the country
Mhm.
and really show our brothers just the proper ways to manage life and to
Mhm.
manage being what manhood is all about.
Nice. So, what's
Yeah.
the age requirement for the mentoring program?
Yeah, initially it was 13 to 17, but now I've
Okay.
reached a little bit lower, especially when I talked about prisons being built on second and third grade reading scores to begin as
Mhm.
early as I've done some sessions with the young brothers as young as 4, 4 years old in
Wow.
the program. Yeah,
Wow.
to 18, and now I'm even mentoring. I'm doing a lot of mentorship to men now. There's a lot of
Nice.
brothers 18 and up. So, you know, not despising the day of small beginnings. That I started small, and things have
Right.
ballooned and blossomed as a result over the years.
Awesome. Awesome. That is some amazing things, you guys. So, y'all, you're out here and you have a young man that needs this mentoring program, reach out to Dr. Eddie. And Dr. Eddie, as we wrap up, you have dropped some bombs and some gems during this show. But I know you also are a man of God. As we wrap up, what would you like to leave us as we are on the cusp of the holiday season? The end of the year is upon us. Some folks may be still trying to recover from that year we call 2020, don't know which way to
Mhm.
turn, whatever. What gems of encouragement would you like to drop at this time?
Yeah, I think what we have gone through has really pricked the conscience of a nation, of a people. We have gotten to a place in our lives where we have to not be reticent with our gifts. We have to take advantage of every opportunity. At the height of 2020, I believe God spoke to me and He said, "Whatever you do best is what you should do most."
My
What?
God. Yes.
Don't just put one show out on YouTube a week. Just do 10 of them. I mean,
Excellent.
10x everything that you do. I've written 5 books now since 2020.
My
Generally, I
God.
would write one a year, but I've generally been writing 2 books per year. And
Mm,
so just 10xing, doubling every single thing that I do,
yes.
because I think the pandemic really shed light on many of the things that we deal with and what we're going through, and
Mhm.
some of us are still caught in a psychological pandemic. We have not broken
Mm,
out of the vestiges of our past and things of that nature. You have to understand, God has brought you this far not to leave you, but everything
right.
that He brought you through is history for your destiny. And
Mm,
and you got to move forward by any means necessary. As we coming up on the holiday season, it's a reminder that you are a red box and a gold bowl. You are a
mm.
gift to the world. The tragedy is to be gifted, but to never open your package,
My
much less
God.
to use what He gave you. And so,
Yes.
whatever gift you have, let them talk. Folks gonna talk about you if you don't do something. Folks gonna
Come
talk
on.
about you if you do something. You might as well do something and give them something to talk about.
Right.
And
Say that again.
that's right.
That
Give them
bears
something to talk
repeating.
about. Yeah, let them be your free publicity,
Yes.
and move in the face of all the things that try to keep you down. Take the time to heal, take the time to honor your humanity, take the time to just think, take the time to process, but also leave some room to bloom and work
Mhm.
your gift. If you work your gifts, I guarantee you, your gifts will work for you.
My gosh. Woo! That's a mic drop. I'm gonna drop my pen right there. I can't drop my mic on the phone. Or it might
No,
break.
you need that. You the queen of YouTube. You need that now.
Well, Dr. Eddie, if you'd like to share your contact information, I know there's going to be some folks to watch this live and watch the replay that's going to want to reach out to you for sure. How can they contact you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
like to say the revolution not only be televised, it'll be digitized. Reach out to me. As you see the website there, eddieconnor.com, but also to join our Eagles Academy. I want to empower you to soar to a new level. www.theeaglesacademy.com. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even TikTok. We don't stop. Go to at Eddie Connor Jr. Put some respect on my name. EDDIECONNOR JR, and you can reach me there. I'd love to come to your school, your church, your community center, whatever the case may be. And I sincerely thank you, the number one divorce recovery expert, and beyond just that. Thank you so much. You're bright, you're brilliant, and you're just a beautiful light in some of the dark places that we have in our world today. And so I appreciate you for the opportunity to come on your show and share with your audience.
You're so very welcome. It was an honor and a pleasure. And thank you for accepting the invitation to be on the show with me on tonight. So, Dr. Eddie, that's it. Thank you again. Great show. And keep doing what you're doing because you are empowering people. My motto is empowerment, inspiration, encouragement, and information. So all of that, you did all that tonight on the show. So thanks so much again and more. And you dropped a whole lot of gems. My God. So again, thanks so much, Dr. Eddie. It was a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, folks, my gosh, my. So, wow. Thank you all so much for watching on tonight. And I have dedicated this entire season to my one and only grandmother, God rest her soul. But y'all, she wore some bad hats. And I'm about to change from my hat to her hat. Listen, this was one of her little church hats. And she would put on a cute little Sunday suit. Isn't this cute? Yeah. So listen, next week, there will not be a show. It's October 31st. If you celebrate that holiday, that's great. Be safe with you and your children. But we will be back on November the 7th with an amazing guest. And his name is Coach D. Rowan. He will be here with me on Monday, November the 7th. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars for it. But next week, no show. Take a break. So, until next time, this is Twyla M. Marks, the #1 divorce recovery expert. I am out.
We hope you are encouraged, inspired, informed, and empowered. Be sure to subscribe to the Divorce Talk with Twyla Show YouTube channel and invite your friends and family next time. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we are out.